'Twas down by the glen side I met an old woman, plucking young nettles. She ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men. Hello, friends. Welcome to Kevin Teaches Music. Today's lesson is about a traditional song. We haven't done that in a while. I figured it was high time. And this song is called either Down by the Glenside, which is the first line of the song, or in my opinion, more descriptively and memorably, Bold Fenian Men. So this is a traditional song that I have heard many times over the years, but only in the last year or so really have I started performing it and really learned some more about the song and learned the words. So this song is it's a narrative song, but it includes a lot of description and sort of vignettes in the lyrics. It's a narrative song, and the speaker is a man who, well, it doesn't have to be a man, but the guy who wrote it, Peadar Kearney, was in fact a man. He's also the same guy who wrote the National Anthem of the Republic of Ireland. So anyway, the story is from the perspective of a man who meets this old woman, as you heard me singing about in that first verse at the beginning of the video. 'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman. So he meets an old woman. She's plucking young nettles, and she's humming this song. And he decides to stop and listen. And her song is, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men. So right away, of course, the question is, what does Fenian mean? Some of you probably know, or some of you might have a good idea, but maybe couldn't explain the whole entire etymology of the word. Well, I don't know if I can even do that, but so Fenian is a word, Fenian, that in recent times, well, comparatively recent, the last few hundred years, has come to describe a series of movements or organizations and the members thereof who were fighting for Republican ideals, basically home government by the people of Ireland, and basically casting off the rule of Great Britain or England, if you will. So but the reason why those movements, so for example, the Fenian Brotherhood, and these movements, we're talking about late 18th, 19th, and then early 20th centuries, these people that called themselves Fenians, they borrowed that term Fenian from a term in Irish mythology. So in Irish mythology, the Fenians were a group of dudes, I guess for lack of a better term, who roved around with the hero Finn McCool. And so the word Fenian refers to Finn. So Finn and the Fenians, right? So Fenians were the guys that followed Finn around and did all these heroic deeds of valor back in the old days, the mythological days. And then in more modern times, the Republican sort of revolutionary or rebel groups wanted to capture that spirit from the mythology, so they resurrected the term Fenian to refer to themselves. So in our song, the speaker or the person narrating encounters this old woman. And this encounter is happening around the time of 1916, 1917. So it's right after the Easter Rising has taken place in Ireland, which some of you might know, unfortunately failed, but it did start. It was sort of the catalyst that started a sequence of events that culminated with the independence of the Republic of Ireland a few years later. So the narrator encounters this old woman around the time of the Easter Rising, but she is singing about she says, "It's been 50 long years since I saw the moon gleaming on strong manly forms, on eyes with hope gleaming." And she is talking about the Fenian Rising of 1867, which was exactly 60 years before 1917. So the events of the song, meaning the encounter that is the sort of schematic setup of the song, is in 1917, but she is describing in her song events that happened in 1867. I don't know as much about the 1867 Rising other than that it definitely did not succeed in its aims. Otherwise, we would have had a free state in 1867, which we don't. But 1867 is kind of an interesting date. It reminds you, what does it make you think of? Well, the Civil War in America had just ended. And there was a lot of connection between Ireland and North America because, as you know, so many hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions, I'm not sure, I'd have to check the numbers, of Irish had gone to North America and had fought in the Civil War. And so the Fenian organizations were very strong in both areas. I think it was the Fenian Brotherhood that was in America, and then what was the Irish one called? Not the Volunteers. What were they called at that time? I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, you'd think the Fenian Brotherhood would be in Ireland, but actually that was an organization in the United States that was very much tied with these groups over in Ireland. So anyway, the Fenian Rising of 1867 ultimately failed, but this old woman that's plucking nettles in our song, she is remembering the valor of these men with glowing praise and great adulation. And the man who in the song encounters her, by the end of the song, he says, "Well, I went on my way, God be praised that I met her, be life long or short, I will never forget her. We may have brave men, but we'll never have better. Glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men." So he is very inspired by, this song that she's singing about these men. So what I wanted to do today, I will sing, go through all the verses and sort of give you a feel for the melody in case you guys want to sing this song yourselves. It's a very easy melody and the words aren't too hard. And I'll show you where a couple of the ornamentation, a couple little ornaments that I do. And then a sort of cool thing I wanted to do today is I wanted to show you my arrangement for harmonies to sing on this song. It's very simple. In fact, they're so easy that you could probably memorize them and maybe, break them out at a session. If you have somebody who wants to sing the lead, well, what I've written is basically stuff you can hum behind the lead, and then you join in with the Glorio, Glorio on the refrains. So we'll get to the harmony in a sec, but first let's go through the verses. So I'll sing the whole song through, and then we'll talk about some of the ornamentation. "'Twas down by the glen side I met an old woman plucking young nettles. She ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men. 'Tis 50 long years since I saw the moon gleaming on strong manly forms, on eyes with hope gleaming. Sure I see them again in all my sad dreaming. Glory, to the bold Fenian men. When I was a young girl, their marching and drilling awoke in the glenside. Sounds awesome and thrilling. They loved dear old Ireland. To die they were willing. Glory, to the bold Fenian men. Some died by the glenside, some died near a stranger, and wise men have told us their cause was a failure. But they stood by old Ireland, and they never feared danger. Glory, to the bold Fenian men. I went on my way, God be praised that I met her, be life long or short. I will never forget her. We may have brave men, but we'll never have better. Glory, to the bold Fenian men. Such a cool song. I love singing that song. So just a couple small points on the ornamentation. Let's pick an example verse. How about, well, let's just do the first verse. So if you're interested in ornamentation, of course, it's sort of a lifelong process of becoming more comfortable and learning how your voice, what types of ornaments your voice is best suited to. And of course, there is sort of a technical element there and practice involved. But I'll give you the bare bones of sort of the 101, sort of ornamentation 101 for vocal for this type of song. Basically, when you have two notes in a descending step, for example, 'twas down, right there with the 'twas. 'Twas. What you do is you sing the first note, and then instead of simply going down to the second note, you add an upper neighbor, and then you go back to the original note, and then you go down. So instead of 'twas, it's 'twas. So again, two notes becomes four notes. Instead of, let's say, for example, it was A and G. If it were A, G, I don't know if it's actually that pitch, but whatever. Instead of singing simply A, G, you're singing A, B, or B flat in this case, A, B, A, G. So A, G becomes A bag. Now, to do that quickly is obviously not terribly easy. I'm not even necessarily that good at it. On certain vowels and certain words, I sort of, sometimes my voice doesn't move as quickly as I'd like it to. So 'twas down, 'twas. And if you can't get it quickly, start with it slow, and just the number one thing to make sure of is that your voice is relaxed. So don't tense it up, don't push it. 'Twas down by the glenside. So that's a great guideline is find two descending notes and add the upper neighbor. So it really just becomes like a shake on the one note, twas, because that lower note was already in the melody. So it's twas. You're just adding a little flip up. 'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman plucking. Right there, same part of the melody on the word It's not even a word, it's a plucking. Like that's, I guess, sort of an old-fashioned prefix or something. So, plucking, plucking. Plucking young nettles. Now I do a quick one there on nettles just because I think that's a cool word. Plucking young nettles. That one's pretty quick. What you don't want to do is insert ornaments that are going to hamper your delivery, the sort of rhetorical aspect of the song. So I have struggled with this in the past. I've wanted to put in these ornaments, but my voice isn't agile enough to do them quickly, and then they slow the song down and make it sound kind of awkward in places. And then I would listen back to myself and I would think, ooh, I probably should have just not done those ornaments. So, for example, say you're going, plucking young nettles. Like that feels a little laborious on that word. Plucking young nettles. If you can do boo, then go for it. She ne'er saw me coming, I listened a while. You can do a little shake on the wah on that high note. Listen a while. It's just a wah, just a tiny little shake. Listen a while. And then on the L of while, you're going down the octave. While to the song she was humming. Glory, oh, to the boat. Same place. Instead of to the boat, Fenian Men. And then I always do this on the chorus here, on the refrain. Instead of to the boat, Fenian Men, it's to the boat, Fenian Men. So I've got the one on two. To the boat, Fenian. That's the same type of ornament we talked about earlier. Instead of Fenian, it's Fenian. And then the last element is just this tiny little touch, which is that instead of going yun men, it's yun men. So that the end sound of the word Fenian, the final N of that, you go up in pitch. You're actually anticipating the pitch of the word men. So instead of Fenian Men, it's Fenian Men. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so the unadorned melody is to the bold Fenian Men. Now I'll add the first ornament, to the bold Fenian Men. Now I'll add the second bit, to the bold Fenian Men. And now I'll add the thing with the N, to the bold Fenian Men. And that is kind of my favorite way to ornament that refrain. So now it's time to teach you guys some of these nifty harmonies that I came up with. Let me get myself in pitch here. So I wrote this in D minor. It really does not have to be in D minor, but I thought that was a nice key. So I've written 3 harmony parts, a sort of low female or perhaps high tenor range, and then one that's like kind of a baritone or maybe a sort of generic male range, and then a lower one that's a bass. I mean, some of the ladies probably could sing the second one if it would be quite low for you, but you probably could sing it. The bass one is going to be too low for you. So they're all three of them are suitable for male voices, but probably only the top two for female. So I'll start with the bass. So if our melody is ya da 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 da, E, this is our tonic, this is D, or D. I don't know if I'm perfectly in pitch, whatever. E, so the bass harmony goes like this. D, C, 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 D, C, F, A, D, F, D, C, Glorio, Glorio, to the bold Fenian Men. Now, of course, you don't actually sing the names of the notes. You know that. But I just wanted to sing the... This is as if it were in D minor. So you've got D, C, 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 and then D, C, F, A, and then D, F, D, C. Those are your four phrases. If you think of it... Or sorry, those are your first three phrases. If you think of them... if you think of a four-note sequence as being one phrase. And then your final phrase is Glorio, Glorio to the bold Fenian Men. So, let's practice singing it together. Ooh, so each note is going to be 3 beats. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Glorio, Glorio, to the bold Fenian Men. So there's your bass. Let's do the I guess we'll call it the baritone part, or it could be a tenor. Ooh, so this one starts on the 5th. Here's the D, which is the root. Here's the 5th, which is the A. So this one has a lot of A's. It's A, and then A, G, A, C, and then A, B flat, G. All right? So A, G, A, C, then A, B flat, G. So we'll practice this one. 3 beats on each. 1, 2. Glorio, Glorio, to the bold Fenian Men. So that one features the same little snappy ornament on the N, Fenian Men, that I do in the melody. Now, when you by the way, any of these you can sing by themselves with the melody. In other words, like just the one line with the melody, or any combination of two. Or the best is to sing all 3 of these with the melody, because then you get the full triads, right? So that baritone or tenor part there for the Glorios, Glorio. Now, when you do that, oh, that is a momentary dissonance with the bass. The bass is on this note, you are on this note, yeah. But as your tenor note falls to that second pitch, it resolves to a consonance. Sorry. So you can really bring that out. Glorio, Glorio, to the bold Fenian Men. And if you're feeling really ambitious, bold Fenian, you could do the little flippy thing on that fee. Bold Fenian Men. And that would mirror the melody. Bold Fenian Men. You're literally trading notes. It's bold fee and bold fee. So you're going da. You're just trading between the D and the A. And now for our upper line, I'm calling this sort of an alto line. It starts on the high tonic, so we have the bass, the tenor, and the alto. This one goes D, F, E, D, F, E. That's easy. And then F, D, D, C. Pretty easy part. So let's try that. 3 beats on each. 1, 2, 3. That feels awfully high. Let's get that D back again. Hold on. We were high. Here's our new pitch. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men. Forgot to go over the refrain before we ran it, but that's not hard. Glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men. Just make sure you get that skip in there from bold Fenian Men, from between bold and fee. So, how about this? Pick a part, and I will sing the melody, and you will try to sing one of those 3 parts. All right, so we have the bass, the baritone, and the alto, or tenor, baritone, whatever. Da, those are your notes. So I'm going to go 'twas down, and then right when I sing the of down, that's your first note. So you're going to go, 'twas, 2, 3, 2, 3. You'll sort of hear the rhythm as we go. So, do, do, do. Here I go. 1, 2. 'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman, plucking young nettles. She ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory, oh, to the bold Fenian Men. So hopefully you're having fun with that. I will try to post the sheet music for you guys to check out and maybe, I don't know, practice. Who knows? Maybe that's too crazy a suggestion, but it really is. It's not really a hard bit of harmony. There it is right there. So I'll try to post that for you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed Bold Fenian Men. It's a fantastic traditional song by this guy, Peadar Kearney. And it's got so much cool history behind it with the history of the Fenians, the history of these risings, the history of Irish republicanism, and sort of that revolutionary spirit, which I just find so fascinating and inspiring, actually. So let me know what you thought about Bold Fenian Men, also called Down by the Glenside, and let me know if there's a particular song that you want me to cover next time. All right, happy singing. See you guys in the next video.